This your boy Kyle the Kid and Mega the Boy, and we are back with another episode of Talk Sports with your boys.
Yo.
Yes, sir. It's a great time to be a sports fan, Mega, I must say. Who knew through the pandemic?
That's a cool jacket, bro. Like the red compliment the vibe with your boys.
Yeah, I thought that's what you was going for.
I see what you did there.
It's all about the marketing.
Yeah,
You
okay.
gotta make it look appealing.
Okay.
With other, clothing items.
Okay.
Feel me?
Okay. Thinking. Okay, he thinking. Shout out to George Wallace.
I be thinking. Right? Yeah, George Wallace.
George Wallace. Shout out to
I be thinking. If you know, you know. But yes, sir, it's a great time to be a sports fan. I must say, who knew throughout the pandemic that sports would come back to us? I was not sure, especially if you were tuning into some of our previous Talk Sports with Your Boys episodes. We were kind of unsure on how things were going to look. We're only through week 1 of the NFL season. So far, no cases. So definitely happy to see that. Yes, the NFL season kicked off last week. No preseason games. Jumped straight into it. The first game of the season, Kansas City, the reigning Super Bowl champions, versus the new look Houston Texans without DeAndre Hopkins, but returning newly paid Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
So, Kansas City, of course, took the win, winning 34-20. It's going to be interesting to see here the Texans. They made, the playoffs last year and fell in horrible fashion to Kansas City. One thing I noticed about the last 2 times these teams have played, Houston has started off with the lead, and Kansas City caught fire quickly and never looked back. So it'll be definitely going to be fun to see Deshaun and Patrick Mahomes battling over these next couple of years. But Bill O'Brien's going to have to prove that
the bad duo.
Bill O'Brien's going to have to prove that move of letting D-Hop go, for whatever reasons he may have had, is going to pay off because he has one of those. He has one of those coaching and GM roles in Houston. So we'll see how that goes. Some standout games to me this week: Baltimore Ravens versus Cleveland Browns, Patriots versus Dolphins, and Saints versus Buccaneers. Those were the 3 standout games. Starting off with the Broward Ravens versus the Cleveland Browns.
Broward Ravens.
Broward Ravens.
I got you.
You don't know?
No, I agree.
Okay, Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown.
I agree.
Broward Ravens. It makes it safe for me to bandwagon when I say it that way. Yeah. So, Baltimore Ravens picked up from where they left off last regular season with a whopping 38-6 win over the Cleveland Browns.
That's for all you guys who thought last year was a fluke. They're proving to you that they're not for play. They're not here for play. They're here to put their stamp on this league moving forward. But I'd rather talk about Cleveland.
I think I'd rather talk about them too.
Yeah, because
Baltimore's not really that much of a story. They were doing this last year.
Yeah, I'd rather talk about Cleveland.
I don't really think anybody anticipated them not to be doing this. You had to be a hater to be like, oh, that whole season was a fluke. So I said they had 6 points. You wanna start with something?
All I'm gonna say is Odell Beckham did not get any worse. That's all I'm gonna say.
I believe he had about 2 catches, 10 targets, a drop pass.
Odell Beckham did not get any worse. Get the man out of there, bro. See, I didn't know that Patrick Mahomes didn't have a commercial for like the first 2 or 2.5 seasons.
Well, you have to think he was Alex Smith was the starting QB his rookie year.
In second year, he got on.
In the second year, he got on. After Alex Smith got up out of there.
They started throwing commercials at him, and they was like, no, wait, prove yourself first. Yeah. See, Cleveland Browns love to do this. I don't know. They did this with Johnny Manziel. Now they're doing this with Baker Suckfield. Bro, how about you prove yourself first? Why the man got more commercials?
I mean, I'm not going to say Cleveland Browns, but I must say this. Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield have been 2 of the more hypest QBs coming out of college. I believe they both came from Oklahoma.
I think Johnny. Yeah, both of them.
And they've had a lot of hype around them.
Mhm.
You know, their athleticism. You know, their spunk. Some would say.
Johnny Manziel came from Texas.
Yeah, I didn't think he came from Oklahoma, but Baker
Texas
Mayfield
A&M.
did. Yeah, definitely Texas A&M. So
They look alike. That's why I get them confused.
So yeah, they're both known for their charismatic attitude and not taking nothing. Quote unquote white boys that could hang with the brothers, cool it. I mean, So that was the allure about them. Johnny Manziel, one of the best college players of all time. Baker
Most
Mayfield
electric.
had a pretty good college career himself. So
Walked
that
on
was
twice.
that was the allure of them. And they both happened to land with the Cleveland Browns. Johnny Manziel, we've seen, could have been a talent. Who knows? He got too sucked into the outside world. Like he said, many commercials and partying with Drake and this person. And he started to become too much of a celebrity and not a football player first. And, he quickly found himself out of this league.
He fell in the Adrian Broner hole.
You want to elaborate on that? What you trying to say about
Adrian Broner was
all
more
about
focused.
billions.
Yeah, he was more focused on celebrity and being a billionaire and following the Floyd Mayweather blueprint instead of focusing on mastering what's making him all that money to the point where he never achieved what he was supposed to. He underachieved a lot. So that's all I meant.
I agree with that comparison. So now you have Baker Mayfield.
Suck Phil.
Has Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Jarvis, Odell, and
David Njoku.
Njoku has all this offensive talent around him, and they scored 6 points week 1. Now, I'm not the smartest guy,
Me either.
but there's no way you should be putting up 6 points with that type of offensive talent around you.
Was that 2 field goals or a missed field or a missed extra point? I mean extra kick.
No, actually, he scored a touchdown.
Okay, so okay. All right, I'm about to say, did you even score?
He scored a touchdown.
Okay.
He got Njoku on a touch, but one thing. They had 3 catches, 22 yards. But Baker, you got to wake up. You got to wake up. All this blame is gonna come on you. You've had he's about on his 3rd or 4th coach. He's been into the league, so I must say he hasn't been able to have the most chemistry with the different offensive schemes. But this fall on you. I understand y'all not winning 10 games, but offensively it shouldn't be this much struggles. You went 21 for 39, 189 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. If they wanted that, they could have just called up Mark Sanchez. You give Mark Sanchez a good defense, he don't get you to an AFC championship. Baker is not looking too good for you, and you in the wrong division to be slacking like that. You're not in an easy division. You got Baltimore, you got Pittsburgh. And then next week you go up against another divisional opponent, Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow had a good showing his first game. You don't want to be the 4th ranked best QB. You ain't going to have Joe Burrow up put ahead of you. So, I'm going to leave it at that. Baker, I'm not going to say I'm a big fan of you.
I'm starting to feel like he was. I don't think he's trash. I just think he was we looked at him as to be something that he's not. I don't think he's. I just think he was overhyped.
Well, I heard Dan Orlovsky, former QB in the NFL, now current analyst on ESPN, say that Baker Mayfield talent is very high, but where his problem is right now, he's trying to play like a Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson, because he does have that athletic ability, but that's not where he excels at. He needs to focus on staying in the pocket more so like Drew Brees. And I do kind of understand that because when you look at the highlights of Baker Mayfield, he's running around in the pocket. He's moving around instead of standing in the pocket and observing the field and trying to get it to the open man. He's doing too much moving. So that could be a possibility as well, but it is what it is. Baker, you need to step it up. There's no excuse for that type of play for sure. Moving forward, the newly crowned QB1 of the New England Patriots. Post Tom Brady, after about 20 seasons. Cam Newton is finally back in his starting role.
Cam season
against my Miami Dolphins. I say that with no pride. Not yet, at least. They took a win over the Dolphins. It was 21-11. Cam scored 2 TDs on the ground. So I guess you could say a nice welcome party. Gonna be interested to see, how they incorporate him. I see, of course you got Cam Newton. You got to do some running plays, some having him just taking himself. So we'll see. They still have no wide receivers, by the way. And Cam Newton, as much as I like him as a player, he's not a Peyton Manning. He's not an Aaron Rodgers. He's a dual threat that needs at least one reliable wide receiver that he can depend on. He don't need much. He took a team with Ted Ginn Jr. and Kelvin Benjamin to the Super Bowl. You don't need much. You don't need much. If y'all watch Cam Newton work out, you know he don't need much. Just surround him with some talent, and
anybody working out the gospel songs, they could take you to the promised land. Just give him a little help.
Never would have made it. I seen it.
I was watching a video this morning, and they doing the training camp, whatever. They were playing gospel on the big speaker. He going wild to the gospel on the big speaker. I'm like, come on, man, get that man some help, man. Take you to the promised land.
Going in too.
Going in.
Don't let the beat drop on one of them gospel songs. Don't let them beat drop. But
shout out to Cam.
Shout out to Cam, man. So interesting to see how the post New England Patriots look after Tom Brady era is officially done. And speaking of Tom Brady, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's down here in Florida. The funny thing about it is, being a Dolphin fan, I've been basically raised to hate Tom Brady, and I don't know, maybe I'm just too Miami. I'm seeing a lot of Florida people show Tom Brady love. Now I understand if you're a Tampa Bay fan, I guess, because they're in the NFC.
If you're a Tampa Bay fan, you old.
Tampa Bay fan.
I mean, you probably jumped on the bandwagon back in 2004 when all that. You feel me?
When Jeff Garcia was the quarterback?
Yeah, you 2004, 2003 and shit.
I do that, but Jeff Garcia, what is that? Rondé Barber.
That's before my time. Yeah. Was it? Yeah,
Tiki.
Tiki was in New York, right?
Tiki Barber. No, Rondé was the cornerback, and Tiki was the running back.
Okay. The twin.
Yeah, Rondé Barber. Yeah. You definitely old.
Yeah. They ain't do nothing in 15 years, brother. There ain't no reason why.
People can say something about the Dolphins.
That's just a pride thing. Hey, what you repping? Let me shut up. I don't know what Tampa got up though.
But Tom Brady not the best showing. Two TDs through the air, 2 interceptions. He was able to sneak one in. But I must say, you got rid of Jameis because he threw too many interceptions. Now 30 is 30. You can't downplay 30 interceptions. You can't downplay it. But Tom Brady started off the year with 2. And one of the things that people tried to say, the reason why Tom Brady didn't look like Tom Brady certain times in his last year in New England, because of his wide receiving core, which you cannot neglect that they ain't no. He was
throwing at me and you.
No studs.
No disrespect to them.
No studs. But. So we'll see. He has Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Godwin, I believe he's going through concussion protocol, so I'm not sure how he's looking for week 2. Mike Evans, he's coming off a bit of an injury, lingering injury, but we'll see. Gronkowski had 2 catches and 11 yards after him coming out of retirement. So is this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team what it is? To be honest, I don't know if it's to me not love the least amount of love I have for Tom Brady, but I was never too hype about them.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nets.
That's what you've been saying. You said Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nets.
You want to explain to the audience what
I mean,
about that?
they're more talented than the Brooklyn Nets. They got a lot of young pieces, Mike Evans and stuff.
No, like, but when you say Brooklyn Nets, like...
No, I'm saying
Okay.
they're more talented. So I ain't saying like they don't got no talented pieces. All I'm saying is Brooklyn Nets came a couple years ago and added a whole bunch of veterans and, the Kevin Garnett's and the Jason Terry's, and everybody was hyped. Oh, Brooklyn Nets might make a run for this thing. And that's how I feel about Tampa Bay. You added a Tom Brady. He's 43 years old. You added Gronk after retiring. He's old. He's banged up. You feel me? Not great. They have a lot of good pieces around him. But I don't know if Tom Brady still got it in the tank, man. I think these are the ending years of Tom Brady. And I don't know if he could take him to the promised land. I don't know. I would have to see, but it looked good on paper, real good on paper. But I just want to see if it can develop into anything on the field. So as of right now, they're the Brooklyn Nets.
And another thing I can say, one thing about Jameis Winston, because he caught a lot of flack, like I said. I mean, 30 interceptions, but he also had 30 touchdowns. And one of the reasons that Chris Godwin and Mike Evans had so much success last year was his gunslinging ability.
Yeah, he was launching that
to
thing.
Get the ball down to the field to those guys.
My thing is, can Tom Brady still do that?
Yeah.
Think about it. In New England, it was a whole bunch of dunk passes. Dunk, get up the field, dunk, get up the field.
He's only had maybe one or two actual deep threats.
Yeah.
I mean, he had Randy Moss. They were electric. Mm-hmm. They almost had an undefeated season until, thwarted by the Giants in that Super Bowl. So they were electric. But as far as deep ball threats, he hasn't had too many in recent memory. So he has Godwin, who's on the up and up, and Mike Evans can do what he can do. Like I said, they're a bit banged up right now, but Tom Brady going to have to show me. And he had nothing to prove. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT. Show me he still has it.
Looking very Peyton Manning right now, though.
Has it to be seen. And what he means by that, in Peyton Manning last year.
That boy couldn't throw from 5 yards.
But that defense carried them.
Yeah.
Does Tampa Bay have that defense? A Drew Brees Saints put 34 on them. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. That defense of Denver had Von Miller and Aqib Talib, and they had the dogs. So that's something definitely interesting. Anything you're looking forward to seeing this season? How things may transpire?
I don't want to say if it's going to finish. I'm really interested. I mean, obviously with the NFL, you can't do a bubble, so you just got to take the chance and test every day. Good thing is testing come back in 15 minutes now, so you could test everybody and stuff like that.
Most teams doing no crowd. I see the Jacksonville Jaguars
Yeah.
chose to have a crowd. I guess they trying to take what they can get.
Yeah.
There ain't too much revenue coming in with them anyway. So
Damn, that sucks. But anyways, so I'm just very interested to see if it ends all the way, and if they do get a couple cases, what happens from there. So that's what I'm mostly interested in. I want to see what the Ravens do this year. I'm very interested in the Broward Ravens. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I don't have too much. I don't really pay attention to the Dolphins, even though I'm a Dolphin fan. I guess I'm not a diehard. Whatever, who cares? But yeah. Oh, I want to see what happened with Odell. I think Odell's gonna start making some noise by week 4, week 5. By week 6, we can get out of there. But we'll wait and see.
I must say I don't want to end this football NFL discussion without shouting out Broward's own Jerry Jeudy.
Oh yeah.
He had his debut. Solid debut,
Solid.
I'm not sure if it was little nerves maybe or just, everybody make mistakes. Dropped the pass that could have got them a first down. I guess you could say in a quote-unquote key moment, but a solid showing.
That won't be happening too much.
Four receptions, 56 yards. And one thing we talked about before this season that I just didn't understand about Jerry Jeudy, he kept being talked about as a once-in-a-lifetime generational route runner. And I was able to see some of that on display.
I was watching some of the highlights. I'm like, he's not the fastest, but he get where he wants to go. I seen there was a play, he caught it, and I just seen how he broke down the defender. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how he did that? Because it don't look like he's moving, but he got where he wanted to go. And I think that was a 23-yard play, if I'm not mistaken. He did that. I'm like, damn, that's what's up. But yeah, man, first game, some nerves, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I definitely see some of that generational, once-in-a-generation route running comments that I've been hearing.
There was a play that Malcolm Butler was defending him on, and it was the route that Jerry Jeudy ran. It's one of those routes where, you know, you go 20 yards deep. People think you're going to take off. And he was able to get Malcolm Butler to commit to the deep route. And he just, and I'm like, that's what they talking about. Okay, that's
the fact that he, I know, the fact that he sold it so well. Like, I'm talking about feet deep in the ground. Like, ain't no way you're not taking this all the way. And the fact that he could break down so quick and then come back is like, well, that's crazy.
But yeah, it's especially from down here, it's very cool to see, you know, down here, you know, everybody's so worried about being the most athletic, the fastest. So the fact that he has that and he's mastered that at such a young age is dope to see for sure.
But that goes back to what I was saying. Being that he's not the fastest, he's not the quickest, I think he really had to work on his fundamentals to separate his game, to get separation from these defenders. And he mastered it. So.
For sure. So very excited the NFL is back, baby. So definitely hyped to see what week 2 brings us. Transitioning over from the NFL to the NBA. The Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals are finally here. Eastern Conference Finals finally got underway with the Celtics versus the Miami
George.
Heat. No. Eastern Conference Finals finally got underway with the Miami Heat beating the Celtics in stunning fashion. Bam Adebayo, which some are now calling the greatest block or defensive play in playoff history, which will stand the test of time. We will definitely see years to come.
Just to that, that was a great block, but I feel like just because it was game 1, I don't know if it's the greatest.
Yeah,
defensive play.
I'm Miami Heat fan through and through.
I
don't know.
I don't know. 7 or game 6, like to go on and win a championship or go on to advance to the finals, I'll be like, okay, great play. The way that was art at his best. I don't know if the greatest defensive play or greatest block. I think LeBron block was pretty great, being that catapulted him to a championship.
Well, I think as far as like when Magic says it or this person says it, I don't think they're talking about really moment, even though it is in the playoffs and, you know, it was a game-saving block.
The way he did it.
The level of difficulty.
Yeah.
Offhand,
yeah.
And it's not a layup, it's a dunk. Jason Tatum cocked all the way back.
His hands all the way in the rim.
Yeah, like Jason Tatum basically had the ball over the rim.
You know his wrist was hurting after, right? Like he probably didn't feel it in the moment, but when he got to the hotel room, he definitely was doing one of these right here. The locker room. That one was definitely hurting. Yeah.
So I think the degree of difficulty on it, because a lot of people would have went with their right hand. Like,
and there's no way that you was gonna avoid contact if you went over.
Yeah, it would have been a foul, and you put in Jason Tatum at the line,
hoping he missed one.
Exactly. So, hey man, Jimmy Butler, I must say, oh my, what a blessing it is to have him in Miami. And I say that not because Jimmy Butler's the most exciting player. He's not the most dynamic offensively. He's a great defensive player, but he's not spoke about how like Kawhi spoke about.
No, don't say his name right now. Okay. When you're talking about Jimmy Butler, don't say Kawhi.
But Jimmy Butler, great defensive player, nonetheless. One of the better two-way players that we have in the league. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't get credit enough for his selflessness and his distribution of the ball that he's definitely showcased in Miami. But I would rather have no other person starting for us at the wing position as our leader than Jimmy Butler right now in the league. I could definitely say that. I mean, bro, like what he brings to us, what he helps with our young players.
You know, I could guarantee you, if Jimmy Butler was on the Clippers, they would be going to the conference finals right now.
I could agree.
Yeah.
I could agree.
Okay.
I could agree. So, yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see how things transpire with the Celtics as far as Jason Tatum had a pretty solid showing. Fourth quarter overtime, or last few minutes of the fourth quarter in overtime, not too much. Kemba Walker came alive towards the end of the game.
You saw 6 for 19?
Kemba Walker, yes, but not so much to the first 3 quarters. Mm-hmm. So we'll see for sure. Jaylen Brown had a solid showing. Gordon Hayward, at the time of this recording, Game 2 is tonight. Gordon Hayward's not playing tonight, but possibly Game 3. So
let me tell y'all
we'll
something.
See how that works out.
Yeah, Celtics, I'm going to give you a little tip.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all might want to win tonight. Matter of fact, y'all should have won last game. But y'all definitely want to win tonight. You're not beating us 4 times in a row. All right, y'all not beating us 4 times in a row. I don't care if it goes to a game 7 you're not winning. So if y'all don't win tonight, start planning your little trip. I heard the season. Going to come back in December.
Heard a lot of people going to Cabo and Cancun.
Don't do that. Go to Tulum or something. Go somewhere where you could really get away from basketball, get your mind right. Brad Stevens, go to wherever you go, and then get your mind right. But if y'all don't win tonight, start looking. I heard JetBlue got some good prices right now. You feel me? So y'all got big money. I ain't worried about the prices. I'm just trying to help you out, coming from broke man standard. But just fill up the jet, go to Tulum. You feel me? I heard they got some nice
Tulum.
Some nice. If you know what I mean, we know what I mean. That's my little tip.
Wise words from Mega the Boy.
Paul George, you don't need to go nowhere. You need to stay. Matter of fact, stay in Orlando. Stay in the bubble.
Since you want to talk about Paul George so much,
I love the Heat. He gonna do their thing. Let's get to the meat of the situation. Let's get to the meat of the situation.
Meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes. Matter of fact, y'all was eating too much potatoes because there's no reason why. It's fourth quarter. Y'all talking about take me out the game, and y'all losing by 13. There's too much potatoes in y'all system. But go ahead, continue.
If you don't know already, and
they know. They know.
And if you haven't caught on to what Mega has been alluding to, the Los Angeles Clippers are wherever they are.
Eliminated.
They're not in the bubble anymore because they lost to Denver Nuggets after being up 3-1.
I've been saying this since 2 years ago. Paul George and all that. Everybody say, "Oh, you didn't be hating on Paul George." Paul George and all that. See, I don't got no problem with Paul George. Let me get this clear. I don't got no problem with Paul George. I just hate when people disrespect LeBron. Every chance people get to disrespect LeBron, they disrespect LeBron. Oh, first it was Kawhi better than LeBron. Then it was Giannis better than LeBron. Then it was this person. Then it was that person. Luka, this person. Where are they? Where are they?
Back when Paul George played in Indiana, Paul George gonna be better than LeBron. I'll let you.
It's getting to the point. If I'm playing against Paul George, I know I'm gonna win. If you playing a team that's Paul George is on, you know you're going. GMs, y'all better open your eyes. Y'all better pay attention. Don't let the stats fool you. See, we had this conversation. Why is Paul George a Hall of Famer? Because you told me if Paul George retired right now, he's a Hall of Famer, and you start telling me accolades, stats. He's a 5-time All-Star. He's a Defensive Player of the Year. Why is he a Hall of Famer?
He's not a Defensive Player of the Year.
Whatever you said. What has Paul George done to be a Hall of Famer? I'm starting to believe what these football players say. NBA, everybody gets into the NBA Hall of Fame. They got no prestige to it. Robert Horry, all them people. Robert Horry did more than Paul George. Big Shot Bob. Shout out Big Shot Bob. Chauncey Billups. All them. If Paul George is a Hall of Famer, Chauncey Billups need to be in the Hall of Fame next year.
Chauncey Billups gonna be in the Hall of Fame though.
Next year. Next year. Paul George had not done nothing in his career. I don't care about accolades. Because you know why? When it came down to using accolades, you didn't do nothing. That's a whole Clippers team. I heard that was the best defensive team. Where did that? Game 7, Jamal Murray dropped 40-piece on you. A 40-piece! With barbecue sauce!
The joke is looking like a combination.
Stop disrespecting LeBron, man. Stop disrespecting LeBron. Leave LeBron. He just want to play ball, bro. Let LeBron just play ball, bro. Undisputed. Uninterrupted. Whatever LeBron got. Uninterrupted. Leave him uninterrupted. Talking about Paul George this and Paul George that. Ooh, James Harden. 4-1. Get out of there. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. Paul George. Paul George. You need to be in the gym right now. I need you to go to sleep in the gym. Take notes from Drake. Drake had the big California Kingside bed in the Toronto Raptor Arena. I need you to go to Clippers Arena or Lakers. I'm sorry, you don't have an arena. Find a gym, a high school gym. Put a bed in there. Wake up, shoot. Don't eat breakfast. Don't do none of that. Just shoot. Where you shooting at? Where were you shooting at? Huh? Hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Go ahead. Just leave LeBron James alone. Leave them alone. LeBron, you know LeBron about to 4-2 this thing, right? I hope LeBron 4-2 this thing. Denver is a great team. Great young team. They're going to eventually win the Super Bowl. See, Paul George got me talking craziness. They're going to win the championship. They're going to win the championship. But I need LeBron to make a point. Matter of fact, LeBron 4-1. Give him one game. Give him game 3. And 4-1. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead. I'm done.
Okay. All right, so let me actually give some analysis on the game real quick. on the game real quick. Los Angeles Clippers, my gosh. I mean, up 3-1. I seen something on Twitter too where they said Marcus Morris told Paul Millsap, "You'll be going home soon," when they were up 3-1, and that did not end well. I must
See, the problem is, no, I know the problem. See, they were so focused on the Lakers. You gonna talk? I'm sorry. You gonna talk?
No,
They were so focused on the Lakers that they forgot that you had other teams to play before you got to the Lakers. Yeah, they were so strong on.
Like they were gonna play Lakers the first round, the second round.
Like they were so strong on that accolade, and I honestly believe if they would have played the Lakers in the conference final, it would have been a great matchup. I think they would have really showed up. But my thing is, bro, they were so strong on. They was they was divas, like. The whole season, Kawhi not playing, Paul George not playing. They just walk around like they don't care about the regular season. Like y'all been together for 5 years. Like y'all do this. Like y'all go to state or something. Like they do this. And I feel like the chemistry was never there. Why is it the fourth quarter y'all down 13 and y'all talking about coach take me out of the game? I'm tired. What do you mean you tired? Tired of what? Winning? You tired of winning? Go ahead.
To your point, summer league. You brought this point up to me.
Oh my God!
You been in your bag.
NBA Summer League. LeBron there with Kyle Kuzma, Anthony Davis. They're watching the game. Lonzo Ball on the bench. Everybody chopping it up. You see Pat Beverly walking in like they won a championship last year. He walking in. He don't even want to dap nobody up. He just
Lou
a
Will.
little side dab. Lou Will walking in. You would have thought they just won 3 championships
Like,
back to back.
like they're the new Detroit Pistons bad boys.
I'm just looking at LeBron, bro. I'm just like, I know LeBron thinking himself, these fools. These fools, they just don't know.
Poor fool.
Bro, it's like, come on, bro. Just humble yourself. I understand. On paper, y'all was great. Best defensive team. That's why I don't want to hear nothing about no accolade. Accolades, if you go on the court and accolades don't prove themselves, I don't want to hear about it. Paul George retired today. He's a regular player. Go play in the rec league. Feel me? Deep side court. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Walking in like you big boy, like you won the championship last year. Man, get out of here, man. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
And I think that's the biggest thing. I kept saying, like, people saying that the defensive team that we're supposed to see, Pat Bev, Kawhi Leonard, 2-time defensive player of the year, Paul George, one of the best two-way players in the league, on-ball defender, all-time.
And then, I'm sorry, Paul George, you've been lost respect for me on the defense end when I seen Damian Lillard took your face and put it on the ground. And you talking about it was a bad shot. What films were you watching? The man was doing the whole series, left and right. Matter of fact, he shot better when 3 people was on him than 1. So, Jesus Christ. Paul George. I'm done.
Okay,
I'm done.
Okay, so, but to Megan's point, and I made the point as well, it's like they were playing defense with their accolades, like Montrezl Harrell, the big scary guy down there with the dreads, and all this. Like, people were supposed to just fear them. Like the Denver Nuggets aren't there to go to the championship. Like, you don't see what Jamal Murray was doing in the first round? You don't see what he was... These people on my shoes. Yeah, you ain't see that when he was dropping 50 pieces? Huh? You ain't see that? Jokic can barely jump over a phone book, but he diamond and shooting and one-legged shot jumping.
22 rebounds. What y'all ain't doing no box out drills? Huh? Why Jokic got 22 rebounds?
I think
Jokic can barely lift up his leg.
I think Montrezl Harrell had 2 rebounds.
You know, but they need to make some changes this offseason. Not Paul George. I know I always say Paul George get traded to Milwaukee, to be in Milwaukee, all that, whatever. Keep the nucleus, but they need to make some changes. I just think
but the thing is, do they need to make changes, or do they need to change their mindset, change their attitude, change their approach to the game? Because on paper, this is an NBA championship team. They don't really need to add nobody. They have shooting, they have scoring, they're supposed to have defense, they have the physicality. It's supposed to come down to getting the job done. Now, me personally, I stand on the stance that the Lakers should have beat them regardless.
Yeah, me too.
But
LeBron not losing to Paul George.
It comes down to you guys have the goods. You guys were supposed to go to Western Conference Finals minimum. If you guys lost to the Lakers, you guys lost to the Lakers. Come back next year and let's see if you can do this. The fact that you lost in the conference semis to the Denver Nuggets, and this takes nothing away from the Denver Nuggets. You have a great young team. They look to be, one of the powerhouses of the league over the next upcoming years. This says something about, and the fashion that they lost in for the first 76 minutes, they didn't even score a point. Kawhi, 6 for 22. Paul George, 2 for 11 from the three-point line. Both of them got a combined of 0 points in the fourth quarter.
See that shot he took, bro? Where you shooting at? See, that's the thing with Pandemic George, right? See, the thing about Pandemic George, he's a sore loser, bro. You ain't gonna come in the post game talking about it was never a championship or bust for us and what you mean it wasn't a championship or bust? I'm not saying like it's a bust, but it's definitely a failed season. You didn't make it to the conference finals, bro. It's not like y'all lost in Game 7 of the conference finals. LeBron just outplayed y'all. AD just outplayed y'all. Y'all lost in the second round.
And there goes my credit. Paul George stayed losing to people he should have no business losing to. Your first year in OKC, you lost to Donovan Mitchell. A rookie took you out. And I believe that ain't go to this. That might have went like 6 games. And then you lost to Damian Lillard. Now, granted, Damian Lillard, they had a great team last year. They were like the 3rd seed. But y'all that really had no business being the 6th seed. So y'all go against Portland. He busts out in the behind and stay in your home. And you got the audacity to say it's a bad shot. Whatever, let's move on. And then this year, he broke y'all up. He made y'all realize that, okay, this not going to work. Which I don't know why y'all ever thought it was going to work. And brought it here. And you go ahead and lose to Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic.
The fact that Jamal Murray dropped 40 piece on y'all wasn't even trying. Did y'all not see what he was doing in the last series? Y'all was not trying.
25 points. Trying. You see that dagger that Jamal Murray hit? Lean to the side. That was on Kawhi.
25 points is a good game. 40 points, you wasn't trying. I'm sorry. You wasn't trying.
And I think Steven Jackson said something about because they talked about mental health. And they brought up the Paul George, saying that, anxiety and things of that nature. And Paul George is like, Steven Jackson was like, I'm not trying to hear that. He was playing buns the whole bubble, the whole playoffs. What are you so...
He had anxiety 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. When you playing against
when you listen to LeBron in Indiana, you have an excuse. But when you lose to Donovan Mitchell...
A rookie.
Damian Lillard, which is a great player... And then you have a team with championship aspirations. Western Conference Finals, the minimum that y'all should be, should get to. And you go home. It says something. Now, granted, we haven't brought this name up. Doc Rivers. We haven't brought this name up. And we were talking about this off camera, and I said, one thing I can say about Doc Rivers and this team, I didn't see enough schemes. I didn't see enough defensive schemes. I didn't see... It's playing defense off their accolades.
Kawhi said the same thing.
Yeah, I heard Kawhi also had a problem with the coaching. And you know Kawhi. You know what type of mode he come from. He come from the Popovich mode. Now, say what you want about how he got to San Antonio. I can tell you one thing. Kawhi Leonard respects Greg Popovich. Mm-hmm. He respects Greg Popovich. He has no reason not to. He just got tired of being in San Antonio. Popovich probably, registered.
With the big old woman.
With the big old woman. Shout out to Charles Barkley. He got tired of being in San Antonio. I'm pretty sure Greg Popovich does things a certain way, kind of old school. He say, I'm not Tim Duncan. I'm not Tony Parker. I'm not Manu. I'm not Bruce Bowen. I'm not one of these players.
Well, his uncle said it, not him.
Yeah, his uncle said he quiet, but he not. He's a California kid.
California love.
So he went to Toronto, won the chip, went to the Clippers, but one thing about Kawhi Leonard, he's used to coaching. Not to say Doc Rivers isn't a coach. Doc Rivers is a great coach, but he's not just, okay, like LeBron did David Blatt and just, throw us out there and, don't worry, we got this on the court. You kind of young and inexperienced. I'm a coach for you type of thing. That's not what Kawhi about. I'm pretty sure he respects, hey, we're doing this. One thing I tell you about Miami, they have great individual defensive players, but what Exposure does, he throws different looks. One time they're in the zone, one time they're man, switch to another zone. Always something different. You never get the chance to offense to look comfortable. And I did not see none of that when it came to the Clippers with a great defensive team like they've had.
It's like they just threw the accolades out there and just want it to happen. You know what I mean? But
and I see a lot of people saying that Doc Rivers should be on the hot seat, and I'm thinking about it. Maybe he should.
Not this year.
Maybe
next year he definitely on the hot seat.
Maybe you got to give him one more chance because at the end of the day, people want to say he only has one championship, but I've seen Doc Rivers, get the most out of some teams that had no business being in certain places.
Ooh. Besides last year's Clipper team.
I mean, some of the Boston teams, like that last year, that was it 2012, I want to say? They went to the conference finals. That Celtics team, I mean, they were good, but the next year they got shipped over to Brooklyn Nets for a reason. They were old. I don't think it was too much their greatness. Doc Rivers was coaching that team up. Even that first year together, they had that big three, but I don't think they were instant favorites. They just, what he put together, he threw Rondo out there, their teams. Yes, you have Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett as a defensive anchor, but I don't think it was like they were powerhousing. It wasn't like Aaron Spoelstra didn't get credit because he had LeBron, Chris Bosh, and D Wade. People didn't really recognize his coaching until they seen what he had to work with.
He's winning the Coach of the Year next year. I don't care.
The Henry Walker, Denny Grangers, and all that type of stuff, and he was getting the most out of them. But so I think Doc Rivers, yes, he had the big three, but they weren't the big three of legend. You know, where people looked at him and said, "Oh snap, we're scared." They were a great team. They were a great team.
I don't think people were looking at him this year like they were looking at the Heat, but I don't think people was looking forward to play the Celtics.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I've been saying, like, were you gonna think about the legendary big three players assembled, and not just because they won a ring at that time. I don't think the league was. They're like, okay, that's a pretty good team over there. Now we're gonna go ahead and try to beat them, which they didn't. But I don't think Doc Rivers is overrated. But you made a point that he probably doesn't get the flack that he should. And I kind of agree with that too, and it point to where some coaches would have been out of there after 7 seasons. But 7 seasons, about 3 or 4 different team looks. So like Matt Barnes said, the Lob City at their prime was 2013, 2015. And then, you know, we know what's happened and what they have now. So
I mean, all I'm saying is Doc Rivers. I'm not saying Doc Rivers can't coach. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is 7 years. I think the only thing is, okay, he's Doc Rivers. Obviously, he's a good coach, and I feel like, okay, he won a championship. But I feel like other than that, it's like, what has he done to, like, there's no, hear nothing coming out. Okay, this year, you feel me? He's not on the hot seat. Nobody looking at Doc Rivers and be like, he's on the hot seat, or he needs to tighten it up, or anything like that. It's like, okay, it's just Doc Rivers. He's good. In 7 years, and you haven't gone to the conference finals, not once. You was up 3-1, you got killed.
He's been up 3-1
3 times.
3 times. Nick Wright went on a rant and said that he's lost a 3-1 series in each administration since Bush.
That's funny.
And I don't know what he's trying to prove by that, but when he said that, I was like, damn.
See, the only thing I'm saying, as a coach, you up 3-1, and the team, you see your team starting to get steam, you're supposed to adjust. You don't keep the same strategies that you had, because obviously they figured it out.
One thing I can say, there's a thing that Doc Rivers keeps getting out-coached. And, you know, sometimes you get out-coached, sometimes the team just get outplayed. But Steve Ballmer did not spend all that money, did not, give up what he gave. You convinced him to give up what he gave to continue to do that. So
he never been on the hot seat before. He's on the hot seat now. Matter of fact, never mind, I ain't gonna say that. But he's on the hot seat now. So next year, it's championship or bust next year. It's nothing less. It's championship or bust. Paul George, you're getting traded if you don't win next year. Kawhi good, but Kawhi, I don't know if Kawhi gonna stay.
They both have 2 years, one year player option.
So I don't know if Kawhi the type of person that's gonna stay, whatever the case may be. I don't know, but Paul George, you're getting traded next year if you don't win a championship. Matter of fact, you might get traded this offseason if y'all is trying to, ship west. And I don't want that to happen because I want him to come to Miami. But y'all need to tighten up. Y'all on the hot seat. Next year, you ain't think this is a championship or bust? Next year is definitely a championship or bust.
So that being said, Clippers, you guys are on notice. I want you guys to be the laughing stocks of the league all the way up until next year.
We're not going to end this without talking about CJ and Damian Lillard. Oh, I love it. I love the pettiness. I want you to explain it because you know more about it. I just want to say I love the pettiness.
CJ basically, he took to Twitter asking Damian Lillard if he's made arrangements for Cancun yet.
He's a grown man talking about invite other grown man that just lost to a trip. Go ahead, continue.
CJ took some shots at Pat Bev and said, you can't get mad at Pat Bev for this. He played above his average. And when we looked at the stat sheet, Pat Bev had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. And
the man said you played great.
He had blamed Pat Bev for this. He played above his average.
If this was Supreme Dream, he'll be like, Pat Bev, you good. You played great.
You were consistently average player.
You played great today. It wasn't your fault.
But
the Supreme Dream.
They were on a roll, but Clippers, in all, you need to do better. Real quick before we end it off, any takes about tonight's game? Who you think is gonna win? Miami. I'm assuming.
I think Miami's gonna win. I think Celtics need to win if they know what I know. But I think Miami take it. I think 5-6 points. I think go down to the wire. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout or anything like that. Lakers play tonight, right? Or tomorrow night.
Let's take a look.
Lakers, obviously, I like them to take the game one, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So I think Lakers gonna take game one as well. But that being said, it's Kyle the Kid.
And conference final, the boy.
Conference final, the boy, and we are out of here with another episode of Talk Sports with your boys. Yes, sir.
Eat it.